What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. PayPal link there also. You know, they asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video, though, this video is entitled Abandoning the Elderly. It used to be an old thing I've heard years ago that I don't hear anymore. If you take care of your kids when they're young, they'll take care of you when they're old. And those days are seem to be a thing of the past. And you know, I meet older people who some made good decisions as a parent and they got abandoned, and some made bad decisions as a parent, and in their elderly years they got abandoned, and that one's understandable to a degree. But I forget the movie when I was younger, but it was about, I want to say, a king in India, and he was, he was a prince at the time. He was, riding down the street as a parade caravan. Everybody was, you know, praising him or whatever, and somehow he got off of the elephant. I think he was chasing a girl, and he went to a side street, and that was the first time he seen old people. The elderly people were on a side street, like in a dilapidated type of area, off to themselves. Like they were not to be seen because being old was unacceptable. The elderly were unacceptable. Um, and it seems like this keeps coming up, where we don't, some older people have a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom, but they've just been pushed out to pasture. And part of the issue is a lot of times, you hit an age where you can't learn anything. Can't nobody tell you nothing because you feel like you know it all, or you about to be grown, or you are grown, or you hit a certain level in life. You don't need any assistance. You don't need a consigliere, and things go left because people to a degree, take pride out of abandoning the elderly, because people die in these hospital beds by themselves. They die in these old folks' homes. Nobody cares. You get a phone call, such and such passed away, and it's weird to a degree, because that says a lot about family. Because to a degree, that may be your nuclear family, depending on your age. That may be your parents, or that may be your grandparents, and your grandparents had like a hand in raising you, but you don't really care as much as you don't care about them in their dying years as they cared about you in your formative years. And sometimes we blame it on life and circumstances and situations, but truth be told, sometimes you just don't want the responsibility. And the one thing, I learned this from my grandparents, even before they died, and I aged into understanding it more and more. You get older in years, but you still feel the same that you did when you were younger. So just because your body may be decaying or aging, but your mind and spirit is still the same as it was when you were in your prime or before your prime. So you may not be able to do the same things, but you have the same feeling and spirit. And what winds up happening, because you can't impose your will on younger people because of your age, people take that as a weakness, and they don't revere all the things you did when you were at an age where you pulled the wagon. And the reason I'm talking about abandoning the elderly on this one is because a lot of what happens in society, a lot of us forget how the people before us actually carried the load. We don't respect it, their the effort that they put in, the work that they put in, the pressure that they were under when they were putting in this work. You know, we don't respect that. We may not have had much, but the something we had came from them, and it's it's disheartening to say that, because there comes a point where you see you come across these elderly people who wish that their 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 family would show them the same love that they showed their family. And some of them give up on life and die earlier than they probably could have or should have, because they're alone. Kind of like um, you know, those old couples. They've been married 30, 40, 50, 60 years. You know, and when one of them dies, the other one is just not equipped to live without them, so they go too not too long after. Or it's kind of, they'll, if they feel like they have if they have to finish the plan of the family, they have a responsibility to be the patriarch or the matriarch of the family. Until the job's done, they can't go. It's not, but they want to go. And we don't get it, because we're not of that age yet. And we don't, we look at older people as they're closer to death than I am, so I don't have to worry about that now. But they were in that same position when they were younger. So what you're saying is, until you there, you don't care. And if it's you, everybody's supposed to do it. Gonna look out for you. But what is the way that you looked out for them? And I had to deal with this even on a personal level, because my I wanted to take care of my grandmother in her later years, but she died before I could get the opportunity to. But there were other family members I had to that I tried to help out who didn't really want to take care of her in her later years, and it was a frustrating, humbling, but I guess necessary experience, because you at least have to not abandon the elderly. But and some people don't want to deal with the shenanigans. I can agree with that. Like, for the most part, I've been talking about people who deserve it, but there are some people who don't deserve it. You might have been a horrible person as a parent or a grandparent, and whoever you're talking to might have turned out to be a good person in spite of your ill-spirited interactions with them, right? So now you want the very person that you tried to destroy to take care of you. And some people can handle that, but most people, that's not what they're gonna do. And those people wind up abandoned. Some people have been manipulative for a very long time, and the house of cards comes falling down, and the person that you once revered and respected is a person that you detest, because you find out, even your respect was built on lies. Your reverence to them was built on lies, and you were just a pawn in the scheme, and all they have left is your what they hope is your unconditional love, but you can't give them your unconditional love because you feel like you were manipulated to give it to them. It doesn't come across the same anymore. You wind up realizing your life might have been a lie just because of somebody's narcissistic tendencies. So you leave people hanging, and some of those people would die in a sense where they don't they long for atonement, or maybe and some are settled for forgiveness, but you might be stuck in limbo or purgatory because they don't even want you sorry, you know. And I think in this process we abandon a lot of elderly people, but it hurts us to a degree because we abandon some of wisdom. Sometimes when people get older and they know their time's coming, they try to impart to you the very most important things about life that they learned and the lesson that they've learned through their life, no matter if they lived a good life or a bad life. And when you abandon them, they don't get to pass that on. And to be perfectly honest, you might need what they don't get a chance to pass on, because that knowledge may be is probably going to be invaluable. So this is all I just had to say about this one. So like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. We out. Peace.